Hello guys, it's Mars, and today I want to talk about disappointment. It's something we all will experience. I also want to talk about optimism, which is often seen as an exclusively positive trait because, oh, you're enthusiastic about the future, you see bright things ahead of you. And I'm not going to sit here and say that optimism is horrible and that you should be a pessimist or a realist or anything. No, I'm not trying to say that at all. Of course, be optimistic. Of course, hope for the best. But what I'm trying to say is don't be blindly optimistic and blindly hopeful when it comes to things. And I'm coming here from a position of a person who did do that. A person who, when auditioning, when applying, when going for something that was not guaranteed, something that was like a chance, something you gotta win, I've been very hopeful, which is a great thing. With the things that I only thought about the good things. I started drawing my success. I started thinking about my success. I started imagining my success, preparing for what I'm gonna do when I'm successful. But the problem is, that's all I did. And I did not think about any other possible outcomes. The thing is that thoughts are important, and how you think about things is important. You ever heard that saying that said, your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your character? Yes, that is true. And what we think about affects the world around us. The thing is that thinking is not the only thing that makes stuff get done. You actually got to do stuff. So don't just be hopeful. Like, for example, you want to make $1 million. Don't just imagine yourself a millionaire. Think about all the things you're going to buy, draw. Be like telling everybody, I'm going to be a millionaire, and not take enough steps to actually be a millionaire. Or not take any at all. For example, saving money, getting a job, investing in the stock market, all things that can possibly lead to you making $1 million. But if you decide you're not going to do enough, or you're not going to do anything, you are very unlikely to get $1 million. So you, of course, have to put work in. But another thing is to prepare for more things than success. And often people fall into two categories. Either people who are extremely hopeful, only think about the best. They tell other people, can't is a bad word. You gotta say you can. Oh, you're gonna make it. Oh, they always are exclusively supportive and exclusively positive. And then there's the people who are only negative. They only say negative things. They only think about the worst case scenario. And they almost never think about the best case scenario. The thing I'm saying is be a person who thinks about all those things. A person who prepares for all of those things. So I'm going to tell you a little story. About a little bit over a year ago, a trip to Hawaii was announced for my marching band. And I knew instantly that I wanted to go. And I was thinking about myself. For a while, I was thinking about it. I was writing it down. I was saying I'm going to go to Hawaii, preparing for it, thinking about what I was going to do in Hawaii. I was really manifesting it, or what I like to say, precipitating it. I was really thinking about it. I got 2 jobs. I finally got my channel monetized. I sold candy in school. I had an online shop I was selling stuff on. I was taking steps towards it. But the problem is that I overestimated myself. I was a little bit fickle with my money. Like, when my paycheck would come in, I would save part of it, but I would spend a good 40% of it on junk, on stuff I didn't need at all. Any money I would make from my candy or anything, I would just spend a good portion of it on junk. And I wasn't doing enough to get myself to Hawaii. And eventually, the deadline came, said, it's the last time y'all can sign up for Hawaii. And guess what? I didn't get to sign up. Even though I had made money, even though I was being hopeful, I did not get to sign up because I did not do enough and I was too hopeful and I didn't think about bad outcomes. So, of course, naturally, I went through the 5 stages of grief. Starting with denial. Oh, maybe somebody would cancel their ticket and they'll give it to me. And then eventually I went to anger. I was so like, oh, everybody else is going to be having such a great break going to Hawaii and I'm not. Then it went to depression. I was in the house during Thanksgiving break, like sad as hell. My grandma had came to the house and I was just sitting there. I was like so sad. I didn't want to be there at all. And eventually I went to bargaining. Oh, if I had done this better, maybe I could. If I had pushed out the fundraising links to more people, maybe I could have. If I had asked my dad, maybe I could have. And then eventually I landed on acceptance. Just know the 5 stages of grief is not only for when somebody dies. It's for any sort of disappointment, any sort of hardship. You can go through the stage of grief for any of that type of stuff. And this has happened to me multiple times. I started imagining great case scenarios. I started manifesting things. I started even taking steps. And I started making slight success. For example, on my weight loss journey, I once lost 20 pounds. And I got too excited and gained 40 back. So basically what I'm trying to say is to be optimistic and to believe in yourself and to prepare, but also make sure that you're preparing enough and not just relying on miracles. Like me, I'm a Christian. I believe in God and all that type of stuff. I pray to God. I pray for myself. I pray for others. I believe in God. But just know that God actually wants you to do stuff for yourself. God is not going to hand you a silver spoon and hand everything to you straight in your mouth. You actually got to go for some things. And there are some factors that you are not in control of or that you're not in complete control of. And you got to be aware of those things. So first of all, prepare. Actually make smart goals, not just, I want to do blank by blank. Make sure it's reasonable. Make sure you're doing stuff towards it. Actions, everything. But another thing you should do is to make sure that you think about all the outcomes. Don't only think about the positive ones, don't only think about the negative ones. Don't only prepare for the positive ones and don't only prepare for the negative ones. Prepare for every sort of outcome. Which means, for example, you want to be on the basketball team. You should, of course, prepare for what you're going to do once you're on the basketball team. But you should also prepare for, what if I don't make the basketball team? Prepare for, what if I get injured or something and I have to skip the tryout? Prepare for both bad, good, neutral, and in-between options. Prepare for the most likely outcomes. Prepare for the worst possible thing that could happen. And also prepare for the best possible thing that can happen. And make sure you're keeping all of them in your head. Of course, mostly think about the positive ones, but don't only think about the positive ones. And don't only prepare for the positives. And also don't think too much about it because you don't want to be overthinking anything. So basically what I'm going to leave y'all with today is don't only be positive and hopeful, also take steps to actually making that goal. And also make sure that you prepare for all outcomes, not only positive outcomes. I'm going to leave you with that today and have a great day. Also, prepare for rejection and disappointment. Prepare that it's going to happen to you multiple times within your lifetime. And in fact, seek it. Ask those questions that you think are going to be responded with a no. Ask that boy out. Try out for that team. All of that. Do things that you are afraid that you're going to be rejected from. Because if you say, oh, I can't do it, I'm going to be rejected, you've just basically said no to yourself. You just basically made it impossible for you to do that. So go ahead, go for that thing, prepare for rejection, think about every outcome, And that has been 10 Minutes with Mars.